Okay, we're going to an episode of On the Wrist from Off the Cuff to have a cool little review for you guys from the brand Starking. They are a Chinese budget brand founded back in 1992, and this particular sample was actually provided by their one of their AliExpress stores. Now, in terms of type of watch, this is a dive watch. Some key characteristics and design when you're looking for a diver. Of course, you want to find water resistance, simply with some type of screw down crown. You want something that's tough, legible with a dive time bezel, and a diver extension is always nice if on bracelet. This is their compressor style diver known as the AM0603, and it's essentially just a good looking kind of diver style watch for under $100. This actually currently at the time of filming this is going for $87.23. Definitely see the AliExpress links below in the video description. This sample was kindly provided by the brand for the purpose of this review, but no brand ever has any editorial input on the video, and all thoughts and feedback are always my own. In terms of this one here, I thought it was a pretty good looking watch, especially considering the price point. Now, for me, there is one fatal flaw here, well, maybe two, but at the price point, it's really hard to argue with. Again, at even under $90, not just under $100, it's under $90. So pretty impressive in terms of that value proposition. But with that said, let's go and zoom the camera out, get this piece in hand, and take a closer look. Okay, now in terms of the dimensions, pretty classic here at a 42 millimeter dive watch across, 12.3 millimeters thick, 47 millimeters lug to lug, stainless steel, brushed and polished, flat mineral crystal. That's kind of a bummer that it's not, a sapphire, but again, at the price point, under $100, under $90, not too shabby. It does have a bidirectional inner rotating bezel, which it does. It is actually actuated through this screw down crown up here. You can see it goes both ways. It actually does have a quiet click system, which is pretty nice. So there is some feedback. It's not just free sprung there, so it doesn't just spin freely. You definitely do have to, give it a little bit of juice in terms of how much you're gonna torque it around. But quite nice from that perspective. Does the job. Screw down crown here, nicely signed. Case back, although you can't see inside, it does have that automatic Miyota 8215 movement, non-hacking unfortunately, but it does beat at 3 hertz, and which is 21,600 vibrations per hour, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. And yeah, not too shabby. The dial is a matte black. You can see it does have various levels to it, some even granular there. You got applied indices. You have 10 bar or 100 meters water resistance, which some people would consider not really a dive watch technically. But again, most recreational dives will be 40 meters. So something with 2 screw down crowns that can go 100 meters typically is going to do the job that you would need. Now, it also does have 22 millimeter lugs and this nice tapering silicone strap here, which it doesn't taper too much. It actually, the nice thing is it has 2 tapers. So it has 1 taper from here at 22 down to 20 millimeters, 2 millimeters, but then it also tapers in terms of thickness here up by the lug horns, and then as it goes down to the fold over, you can see nice in terms of the venting there. You could see nice spots, so this isn't going to just get sticky or gross on the wrist. There's a lot of room there for airflow, which is nice when you're coming in and out of the water. And I think aesthetically this is pretty good, and it doesn't attract too much dust, which is nice. So it's a soft silicone, quite smooth, so that's going to be quite comfortable. With that said, let's actually get it on the wrist and see how it wears. Okay, as you can see on my 7.5 inch wrist, or 19 centimeters in circumference, fits quite nicely. Definitely full size diver at 42 millimeters, but thanks to that 47 millimeter lug to lug, still quite fine on the wrist. They're not feeling oversized at all. Definitely just kind of spot on for full sized though. But again, not teetering towards oversized. Lays nice and flat on the wrist. Short lugs there, decent finishing as you guys can see, nothing crazy in terms of the transitions on these bevels. They are a little bit cloudy from my fingerprints. It's a warm summer day here in Oceanside at the time of filming, so I should say summer night, but it is still hot. So let me give it a quick little wipe down. You can see The finishing is quite soft, but I mean, at the price point, kind of what you would expect. But you can see also, if I keep my wrist too close to the lens here, you're going to get quite a bit of perspective distortion. All of a sudden, the sides of my wrist fall away, and the watch seems much larger. But if I keep my wrist here, look at that, you can see more of the bracelet, more of the sides of the wrist, and the watch seems more centered. So I'll just tighten up the frame here so that you guys can get still a detailed look, but just add a bit of a truer aspect ratio. That's how this may appear on your own wrist. Check that out. Nice and legible, nice and flat there, nice and tidy. Again, I'm just considering the price point. And really the only thing that I dislike about I shouldn't say the only thing, but the main thing that holds me back on this one is the non-hacking movement. That's just a rough part, because, the 83, I want to say the 8300 movement from Miyota would have added the hacking. So, and then I think they even do have a longer, what's it called? Power reserve, right? So the 42-hour power reserve is extended, I want to say, up to like 60 hours, which is pretty good, or it might even be 65. So that would be nice here, but again, at the price point, hard to complain, especially when you get something like this with a mineral crystal. It's just not really meant to have all of the specs there. It's really meant to be worn and have all of your wrist time potentially. So with that said, we'll get it off the wrist, set for some Lume shots, low light transition, and closing thoughts. Okay, let's go ahead and hit the lights here. All right, not too shabby. Now it's not like micro brand or Seiko powered Lume. You can see of course, the inner chapter ring there, I shouldn't say not the inner chapter, but the inner rotating bezel, it's already dying out, guys. It's just, it's not something that's going to last very long, but it does the job. Again, this is more of a dive style watch than an actual diver's watch. Let me make sure I can get everything lit up here. There we go. So not too shabby. Again, I'd say my main problem is going to be more so the lack of a hacking movement. But one thing I always like to work in is going to be that low light transition, because you're not always going to be out in the middle of a field enjoying direct sunlight. A lot of times you're going to find yourself coming out of buildings, walking underneath overhangs, or just hanging out underneath the shade of a tree. So it's nice with these colors, textures, and finishes render like in less than optimal lighting. And I gotta say, guys, it's a good looking watch. I mean, I like the design. So, I mean, and the price, it's hard to argue with. This typically isn't where I'm at in my journey right now, but hey, just because I'm out buying neo vintage Omegas and $3,000 Seikos doesn't mean that everyone else is. So again, I'm always open to these types of things as long as from a design perspective, I think it looks good. And then of course, and you find a balance in terms of some of those more subjective points like specs. And I think for the price point, the specs aren't too shabby, because you never know. This could be a great 10th or 11th watch, right? Probably not going to be your one watch that does everything, but if you're a collector and you like to mix it up, having a dual crown compressor style watch like this could be really good, especially with this quite handsome design. But let me know what you guys think. We'll get the lights back on here. All right, in terms of closing thoughts, guys, on the wrist, that shorter 47mm lug-to-lug definitely keeps proportions relatively compact. In terms of model variants, do check the links in the down in the description for options and availability. And in terms of comparable models, guys, at under $100, this would be one of the more non-homage budget options on the market. Yeah, I don't have no problem saying that. I mean, unless if this is an homage to another watch, let me know. Show me that one so I can take a deeper look. As far as I can tell, this pays homage to quite a few different design cues, but without trying to replicate by any means any particular reference number. So I appreciate that. So guys, bottom line, for under $90, Starking have really built a pretty competitive sports watch here. If they upgraded to a 9000 series movement and a sapphire crystal, I think it'd be even more enticing though. But let me know what you all think down in the comments below. If you like the video, please would like, and if you're already, please subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks, guys.